Here at Search Like Bereans, our mission is simple: to fulfill the Messiah's command in Matthew 28. Therefore, go and instruct all the nations, immersing them in my name, teaching them to guard all that I have commanded you. Before we get into today's message, we want to make sure that we start off on the right foot to avoid any confusion. Many of the passages that you'll see and hear today may look familiar and at the same time unfamiliar. Here at Search Like Bereans, we read from the Hallelujah Scriptures. It is important to use our Father's esteemed name as He calls us to do it. You'll also see other words that you're familiar with restored to the Paleo-Hebrew original words. We will leave links to these resources in the description box should you wish used in going forward. Genesis chapter 2. Thus the Shamayim and the earth were completed in all their array. And on the seventh day Elohim completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim barak the seventh day and made it Kodesh, because on it he rested from all his work which Elohim in creating had made. These are the births of the Shamayim and the earth when they were created, and that gave that Yahuwah Elohim made the earth and Shamayim. Now no shrub of the field was yet on the earth, and no plant of the field had yet sprung up, for Yahuwah Elohim had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. But a mist went out from the earth and wore the entire surface of the ground. And Yahuwah Elohim formed the man out of dust from the ground, and breathed in his nostrils breath of life, and the man became a living being. And Yahuwah Elohim planted a garden in Eden, to the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground Yahuwah Elohim made every tree grow that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, with the tree of high in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided and became 4 river heads. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one surrounding the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. Bdellium is there, and the Shoham stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one surrounding the entire land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. It is the one which goes towards the east of Asher. And the fourth river is Pereth. And Yahuwah Elohim took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to work it and to guard it. And Yahuwah Elohim commanded the man, saying, Eat of every tree of the garden, but do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall certainly die. And Yahuwah Elohim said, It is not good for the man to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him as his counterpart. And from the ground Yahuwah Elohim formed every beast of the field and every bird of the Shamayim, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all livestock, and for the birds of the Shamayim, to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helper for him as his counterpart. So Yahuwah Elohim caused the deep sleep to fall on the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and enclosed up the flesh in its place. And the rib which Yahuwah Elohim had taken from the man he made into woman, and he brought her to the man. And the man said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one is called woman, because she was taken out of man. For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother, and join unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, and the man his wife, that they were not ashamed.